Come to think of it, Mario has met tons of enemies over the years. I don't know what he did to mess with that many people, but the fact that he's still alive nowadays is a freaking miracle. Some enemies are not that powerful, but others are actually quite scary and can cause quite the commotion. And today, we'll take a look at some of the most dangerous enemies Mario met during his adventures, saving Peach and the Mushroom Kingdom. But just before we do this, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Ragnarok Origin, an epic MMORPG on mobile devices where fantasy becomes reality. This game has so much to offer with its huge fantasy RPG story campaign where you explore a fantasy open world and discover mysterious, fun, and evil hidden secrets. Collect, train, and evolve your powerful warriors to then use them in the dynamic battle action system where you can use hundreds of weapons and fight in multiple legendary arenas. This game is very social, and you'll be able to partake into raids, challenges, and even stories with your friends. There's lots of classes to choose from, and everyone plays an important role in Ragnarok Origin's team system. The pre-registration just opened, so click the link in the description to go register right now. It's quick, and you will even be entered to win a Tesla Model S, so that's kinda neat. There's a closed beta taking place from September 23rd to 27th, so I hope to see you all there. Hey, I'm Nico, and here's my top 10 dangerous enemies in Mario games. So, the first enemy I decided to add to this list is one that could have been way higher on it, if it wasn't for the fact that this dude is always chained to a pole. Yeah, the chain Chomp is actually terrifying when you think about it. It's a big metallic ball with sharp, pointy steel teeth. When you first approach a chain Chomp, it will immediately try to eat you whole, but thanks to the chain, if you're far enough, you'll make it out alive. And that's the thing, when this dude is not chained to something, it goes insane. Take Yoshi's Island for example, cause in this game, some of the chain chomps actually spot you from afar, and they literally jump from across the entire world to come and eat you, and when they miss, they just eat the floor instead and you fall down and die. An enemy that can actually dig through the soil with his bare teeth? Now this is something that's actually quite dangerous. Oh, and did I tell you that chain chomps are actually resistant to lava? No? Well, I guess I forgot, eh? Okay, let's say you're a dangerous creature. What would be your superpower? Breathing fire? Running fast? How about being able to create spiky boulders inside of you and then puking them out to throw them to your enemy? Well, this is exactly what my boy Spike can do. Look at this dude, he's tiny, he's almost cute when you look at him. And then he does the most disgusting thing ever, and bada bing bada boom, he now has a giant spiky boulders ready to throw at you. Even worse, there's another species of spike that is actually able to get a whole spike bar out of their body to throw at you. And as you can see, they never stop. If you just wait and chill next to a spike, they'll never run out of spiky boulders to puke at you. Now, this is what I call a very deadly and dangerous enemy. Also kind of disgusting, let's be real. When you think about it, a bunch of Mario enemies just walk from left to right aimlessly, and if you get touched by them, it's pretty much because you ran into them like a dum-dum. Well, we cannot really say that about the Bruisers. These weird looking dudes have two big boxing gloves for hands, and they kinda look angry all the time. When they see Mario, they instantly become angry and start punching everything in their way to get to that plumber and kick his butt. Well, punch his butt. Anyways, it doesn't matter if there are blocks or walls in between you and them, they'll punch right through it. And that's the scariest part about these guys, they ain't afraid of anything. They can break blocks, even Koopa shells can't. I even remember a level where there's a bunch of barrels and the Bruisers just punch them towards you. An enemy that is actually smart enough to use barrels definitely deserves a spot on this list. Come to think of it, every single enemy out to defeat Mario just blindly listens to Bowser and they do what he wants them to. so pretty much every enemy is willing to go fight for him. And then there's a more dangerous and smarter enemy, one that actually does follow Bowser's order, but still gets other people to do his evil deeds. I'm obviously talking about Lakitu. This little dude just chills inside of his safe cloud and throws spinies and piranha plants and all sorts of things at Mario. Finally, an enemy that just doesn't walk aimlessly towards Mario and instead uses their big brain to attack the plumber. Oh, and by the way, have you played Super Mario 64 as of lately? Cause this game's camera is so garbage. You can barely see where you're going, and more than often, if you die in this game, it's because of the crappy camera. Why am I telling you this? Well, here's who runs the camera in Mario 64. It's Lakitu! There you go, he's dangerous. I rest my case, okay? There's one classic Mario enemy that we've seen so much of that we actually forget how dangerous it actually is. Usually located in towers and castles, Thwomps just wait there in the sky and they wait for the perfect moment where you walk close to them and then they thwomp you, they crush you. Basically, these giant stone blocks with faces can move down and move sideways, and their only objective is to crush you. I have to admit that one Thwomp alone isn't super dangerous, but they usually like to live in group, meaning you'll often have to run like a mad lad to avoid getting crushed by all of them. And if you mess up and it happens, well, ouch. One of the scariest Mario enemies to ever exist is located underwater, deep down there. Obviously, you know where I'm going just by looking at your screen in the video right now. The eel is very spooky, but it's thankfully not the most dangerous enemy ever, as it's mostly just going to swim around the world without even paying attention to you. That is, until a level in New Super Mario Bros. Where everything changed. Remember World 4-3? No? Well, let me quickly remind you what happens in that level. Yes, a big eel the size of the Nintendo DS screen actually chases you, come at you, and try to eat you for breakfast, basically. This mega eel is so huge that it destroys everything it touches, and there's actually nothing you can do to defeat the dude. No star will save you from doom, and using a mega mushroom underwater just doesn't work. You can even try to hide, but even if you manage to hide for a second there, mega eel sees you and it's gonna come back to finish the job. Trust me, you just don't want to go swim in that lake. Okay, so now we know that water is actually dangerous. But what about lava? It is dangerous, okay, but I mean, as long as you don't touch it, you'll be fine, right? Well, my buddy Magmarg actually disagrees with you on that point. Those big lava creatures just like to hide in the lava until you get close to them, and then they come out of it to try to eat you whole. And there's actually nothing you can do to defeat those guys. They're just invincible. When you see one of these guys, just run. That's the only thing that can save you. And if you're too slow, well, there's not much we can do about that. The most dangerous thing about Magmarg is that they evolved throughout the years, and there's even a species that lives underneath the sand named the Sandmarg. As you can probably tell, there's not a lot of safe spaces in the Mushroom Kingdom, and pretty much everything is out to kill you, which is kind of terrifying when you think about it. So, we all agree that the Mega Eel is a pretty dangerous enemy, but imagine if it was actually faster. Then it would totally be even scarier. What if I told you that there's actually a very fast fish that can eat Mario in one single bite? I'm talking about the bus bass, the big Berthia, the big cheep. This fish has had many names over the years, but there's one thing that hasn't changed, and it's his ability to be extra dangerous. Like with most water enemies, once you're out of the water, you're safe. But for Big Berthia, it is not that simple. This fish just wants to eat you no matter what. If you're close to a body of water, it will try to come out and eat you. Nothing stops Big Berthia in its quest for food, so just stay away from all bodies of water and you'll maybe be safe. You know an enemy is actually dangerous when it's annoying you even in the very first Super Mario game. I do have to put the Hammer Bro on this list, as I can't even begin to count how many times I have been defeated by these annoying dudes. Reaching World 8 is actually difficult enough in Super Mario Bros, and when you get game overed because of those annoying bouncy hammer throwing turtles, then it's very heartbreaking. And these guys have been back in pretty much every single Mario game afterwards, more annoying than before. And since we're here, I do think all of the bros need to be added to this list. The Hammer Bro, the Fire Bro, the Ice Bro, the Boomerang Bro, they're all annoying, okay? They're throwing stuff at you, bouncing, trying to avoid you. But thankfully, if you do have some power-ups, you can usually damage boost through them if needed, which is actually quite helpful. I have rarely seen an enemy in a Mario game that requires a certain power-up to be defeated. Typically, any power-up will do the trick if you know how to use it. But the release of Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury changed things up. During your exploration of Lake Lapcat, there's always a big gooey shell in the background, slowly making its way up, until it actually explodes into Fury Bowser. This dude is actually the most dangerous creature ever created in a Mario game before, because of how big it is and what it can do. Fury Bowser brings in a storm with him that actually makes platforming way more difficult, as some big spike pillars and fireballs fall from the sky. But the real difficulty comes from the fact that there's not much you can do when Fury Bowser is out. Look at his size. You can't just go and hit him with a fireball. That won't do anything. You actually have to either ignore the dude and try to get your shine to send him back to sleep, or you have to use the only power-up that actually works against him, the Giga Bell. Fury Bowser was the reason why the Bowser's Fury game was such a fun experience for me. Having to run away from a Godzilla-sized enemy is actually pretty cool. Can we get Bowser's Fury 2, Nintendo? No? Okay, well, guess I tried. Thanks a lot for watching this top 10. I hope you enjoyed it. So tell me, what did I miss? What is your most dangerous enemy according to you? I do want to know, so let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want to watch more videos and stuff, well, smash like, do all that fun stuff, and tap the cards on screen right now. As for me, well, I will be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye!